I'm back with another TED Talk, and today we're talking about what Portia Williams, Kyle Richards, and Bethenny Frankel all have in common. Besides being Real Housewives, besides being in full glam all the time, besides doing some very shady confessionals.
I love it. Why don't you open it? It's 5 rules of etiquette when attending a birthday party. I don't have a problem with Giselle. I actually like her, but she's irritating. And don't have to look in this mirror and move their fake hair left and right to feel better about themselves.
These women have taught me some very powerful life lessons. If you were here last time, you caught my video about the life lessons that I've learned from my 600-pound life, and you learned that I am pretty much obsessed with reality TV. I dive into these people's lives and pull some life lessons from them. In this video, we're going to dive into 5 life lessons that I learned from watching the Real Housewives of basically every franchise, and also talk about how you can apply those to your real life. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Please make sure you subscribe, like this video as well, so you can see me pop up on your homepage a bit more often. Now, the first lesson that I learned from all of these housewives is that life does not stop at 30, 40, 50, even 60, okay? If you look at these housewives' ages, you would make assumptions about what they should be doing or accomplish. I did a quick Google search of the oldest housewife. Nene Leakes, 56, Luann, 58, Dorinda, 59, Karen, 60, Lisa Vanderpump, 63, Ramona, 67. The point is, these women are in their late 50s, early 60s, and life has not stopped. They're divorcing, dating, starting businesses, making new friends, trying new hobbies, moving to new cities. They are not feeling like I am bound to this one particular identity, this one particular place or anything. And sometimes they're forced into adapting these changes. And then sometimes it's just, yeah, I'm going to do it just because. It's very rare that we get to see women of that age just truly like saying, I'm just a girl. I'm living la vida loca. That is so powerful to me because as a woman in her early 30s, I still have to grapple with the idea of like, I'm too old to do this now. And then I stop and I'm like, am I really too old to do it? So let this be a reminder to you that there is no age limit on reinvention. If you are 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, you can still wake up and say, I want a new life. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be this kind of person. There's still time, there's still space, there's still flexibility for you to do that as long as you are willing to do the work that comes with it. On my channel, I talk a lot about how to achieve the goals that you set. You can pick any video you want and you can hear me talk about it and get some concrete resources. The second thing that I've learned from these shows is that aging does not make you irrelevant. There's always been this myth that once a woman hits a certain age, men aren't looking at her anymore, or maybe she's not as attractive. That's completely false. The housewives are showing us that aging isn't the end of an era. If anything, you're remixing it. They even have a dating show now for the Real Housewives to find love.
Beef Wellington? A beef steak.
Very pretty. Very pretty.
Gorgeous.
No, I was talking about you.
Whatever you're feeling for me, you're not allowing it to happen.
I'm being sensible about it.
We don't really get to see older people dating because there's an assumption at 55, 65, you've already met your mate, you are settled down. These women are still walking on red carpets, still dating different men and have options. They're still commanding attention. So they're not washed up. They're definitely still attractive, not only to men, but also to themselves and their peers. Because once you're that girl forever and ever more. The next thing that stands out to me about these housewives is the fact that they're supposed to have it all together, but they are all still figuring it out while they're on the show. I think of Kyle Richards a lot when I think about this. Kyle spent her entire life, I think she started having kids in her 20s. She spent her entire life being a mother, being a wife, building this unit, right? Her entire identity was built around being there for her family and holding her family together. But as her children are growing up, she probably has one more living in the house with her. Her and her husband have separated, or either they're divorced now. She no longer can lean on that identity of being a mother or being a wife. She got into this space of like, I am taking care of everybody and taking care of myself. is on the back burner. But now you can see her having to transition. She's forced into reinventing herself because she no longer has those identities that she can lean on. So you can see now she's sober and she's really leaning heavy into her health and wellness, and she really wants to be more active and do things with people. Like, she doesn't want to just be a housewife and a mother anymore, / she can't. This one really stood out to me because I feel like as women, we get really caught up in taking care of other people, whether it is your significant other, or your children, or other family members, and we forget about ourselves. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you only have yourself to fall back on, because these things will go away. People will leave. People will move on to the next part of their life. They'll transition. The only thing constant is change and yourself. You always need to make sure that you have yourself to lean on. So remember this: you are more than someone's support system. You're more than someone's partner. We all have our own dreams. We all have our own passions, our interests that we do not need to leave. We still need to explore. We still need to pour into other relationships in our lives too. Don't be tied to one or two pieces of your identity. Pour into yourself in all your aspects of your identity, because when one chip falls, you'll have another to lean on. Another housewife that stood out to me is Bethenny. When we met Bethenny, she was broke. She was trying to start a new business. I think she started off with catering. And it was nice to see her go through so many iterations of her business to Skinny Girl, which I'm sure everybody knows. And I don't think she owns it anymore, but we've seen her evolve over time. She wasn't afraid to start over. She wasn't afraid to not have it all figured out, because she was figuring it out in front of everybody on TV. And that's what a lot of reality shows are. People figuring it out in front of the camera. Love Island. I can't wait for Love Island to come on. I'm coming with some lessons for Love Island too. So stay tuned for that one. People are just figuring out in front of us, and we can either judge them or we can take some lesson from it. No one's following you around with the camera and judging you. This leads me to my next point, which is it's okay to choose yourself. These women being on the show in itself, this is them choosing themselves. When they are married to someone and they do this show, they are saying, this is my job, and their job kind of puts them in the forefront of the relationship. They have to invest time into it. For some women, this may be their only job, being housewives, or they may use the show to propel other businesses, but that's them choosing themselves. As you age, it's okay for you to continue to choose yourself. We think it's okay for a 16-year-old to choose herself, right? We encourage that. But for a mom, it's not okay for her to choose herself. And I think sometimes moms may feel like they can't choose themselves. I have a dog child who is at my foot right now, and he is licking his paws. I still think about times when I have to choose myself over him. And it's very little, but it's just like, I don't want to go on a walk today. You're going to go in the backyard and run around for a little bit, and we are not going for a walk until later. Little things like that. But one of the biggest things that stand out is that you never age out of putting yourself first. And that's something that these women have shown me. The last thing I want to touch on is that every age unlocks a new superpower within you. So we always think that your 20s are just for self-discovery, but that's false. Every year you are on this earth is for self-discovery. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to stay in your own ways. You can rebrand as many times as you want. You can unlock as many things as you want. You can do whatever you want to do in this life, as long as you don't hurt yourself or others. I want you to think about every year of your life building upon the other, right? So maybe your 20s you did explore a lot and you learned a lot about yourself, and now you're starting to form your identity. Your 30s, you've been able to apply those experiences and build more. Now your 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on, you have this strong foundation. You can explore with more security that you've established, with more confidence that you've built in your life. You can explore knowing what your boundaries are. We are just continuously glowing, growing, and thriving. If you watch Real Housewives and only think about it as women just getting drunk and fighting, I encourage you to look at the show again think about them as individuals. What are these women going through? Think about the age they're at. Think about the things that they've accomplished before that. Think about the goals that they're currently pursuing. I love to see it. And in a way, these women are also better baddies, right? They are baddies. I still love the baddie framework. They are saying that they are living a balanced, authentic, driven, deserving, iconic, and evolving life. There's no way to get away from it. These women are the definition of baddie. Yes, these women are messy, but I want you to also use them as a reminder that it's never too late for you to change your mind, your path, or your entire life. Growth does not have an expiration date. If these women can do all of this under the cameras of Bravo, you can do it in your own life with no cameras watching you. Whatever season you're in, I want you to own it. I want you to embrace it. I want you to really live in it. Glowing up, as I'm going to talk about in another video, does not have a limit. It doesn't have to be done within a certain amount of time. Being a better baddie is a constantly evolving situation. But this episode spoke to you. Be sure to like it. Leave me a comment below. Talk to me. I love hearing feedback from you all. Share this with a friend who is also thinking about aging. This is coming at a time when I am thinking a lot about aging. I guess I'll talk about that in another video because right now I don't want to get too deep and I'm not mentally prepared to do that. So let's keep this energy going and I will see you all in the next one. Until then, I hope you have a positively productive, self-loving day. Bye. Mwah.